guys, what's up? It's me, Honeybear Draws, and today I'm going to teach you how to shade. So, the first thing is first, I have a very blank drawing here. As you can see, there's one layer which is the colors, and then there's one layer which is the sketch. Oops. So I used the bucket tool, and there's no shading. It's a very, very simple drawing. And I'm going to teach you guys how to shade. The app I use is Ibis Paint. So, how about we start by talking about the basics. So, if you're gonna shade, you're gonna have to look for where shading would go. Shading would normally go anywhere where a shadow would be cast. As you can see, under the neck, a shadow would be cast. And if it helps, you could look at a reference of a real human. There's normally shading where the clothing crinkles, and there's sometimes shading underneath the fingers because, well, it casts a shadow. So anywhere where a shadow would be cast, there's shading. Alright, so first I'm going to teach you how to shade like under the fingers and basically any part on a human. You want to just get a very nice light undershadow like that, and I just do this to add a little more cartoony look. You could also shade in between the fingers like this if you desire, and it's fun sometimes just to add some shading here and there. Like, this gives it a nice cartoony vibe. Of course, if you're going for more realistic, I would recommend not shading everywhere, but cartoons tend to over-exaggerate the shade, so I feel like it's fine. Great, now that we have the arm shaded, I'm gonna go ahead and shade all the other parts where the skin is, and then I'll get back to you when we start shading the clothing. Alright, so I've shaded the skin. Now we're going to talk about clothing. So for the clothing, okay, so now we're going to look at how to shade clothing. Now, you're going to have to look or think of how real clothing reacts to when you move your arm. Clothing isn't just stiff on you, it has little ripples and wrinkles. And so you're going to want to choose a darker color of the clothing. I chose dark green, so I'm going to get an even darker green. And wherever I drew one of these little lines, I'm just going to shade wherever there would be a little crease or a little wrinkle. Now sometimes it's fun to go overboard and just add lots of detail into your shade. I may have gone a little overboard, but that's alright. Now, as you can see, there are these two weird belt things on her. So we're just going to draw a line where the shadow would be cast from the belts. I'm trying to make it as least complicated as I can make this tutorial. But, it's quite hard to explain how to shade. It took me, my whole life to learn how to shade. Anyways, so, oops. Now, as you can see, I filled in wherever the shadow would be cast, except for right here. That's my mistake. Alright, I filled in wherever a shadow could or would be cast. Now, oh my goodness gracious, why do we keep on doing that? Now we're going to just add some shades for fun. I feel like cartoons, as I said before, they tend to overshade, and, well, I draw cartoons, and so I take inspiration and I overshade. Alright, now that you see it's all shaded there, we're going to shade the weird strap thingies. So let's go ahead and do those. Like I said, grab the darker form, draw wherever it would be, find wherever it would be folded, draw lines wherever the creases or shadows could or would be cast. And like I said, over-exaggerate if you're doing a cartoon. It really adds and helps the cartoon vibe. If you're wondering, yes, I do use a drawing tablet. Alright. Now, I'm just going to get back to you when it's done.